Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my Robinhood portfolio. Today I thought I would continue talking about the profitability of mining cryptocurrencies, in particular Bitcoin and Litecoin. As you guys know, I put out a few videos already talking about the Coinbase application, as well as a number of pieces of equipment that can be used to mine cryptocurrencies, including the S9 Antminer here. And on some of those videos, there were some discussions talking about why do some of these pieces of equipment lose mining power over time. There was one comment thread in particular. I forget the viewer who started that comment thread, but there was a discussion regarding the payback period, and it seemed to be increasing over time for particular pieces of hardware. So I thought I'd just kind of talk about that, focusing on one of the best at-home Bitcoin miners available, the S9 Antminer, and talking about why that is. If you remember from my prior video, you will recall that there are a number of pieces of hardware, but they are quite pricey. You can see here this S9 Antminer is $1,141, and the payback period is 108 days, meaning that if you were to run this piece of equipment for 108 days, factoring in things as the electricity cost, the price of the hardware, the price of Bitcoin, and then most importantly, how many Bitcoins you can get per gigahash or for power of the mining equipment, how quickly they can do the algorithms that mine the Bitcoin, how quickly can you pay that back? And currently it's 108 days. A couple months ago, it was 50 days, 20 days, and you can see over time that is rising. So I just want to talk about why that is, especially for new folks that are thinking about doing some cryptocurrency mining, but don't necessarily understand this payback period. A lot of people think they can buy this piece of equipment for $1,141 and simply run it for 108 days and it's paid off. That is simply not the case. Over time, that 108-day period will continue to rise. And it's all based on the number of people mining and the total gigahash that's employed to mine the Bitcoin. So you can see here a very nice calculator calculating the power of this piece of equipment, 1,375 watts. It also factors in the cost per day of mining, essentially taking a look at some of the electricity rates around the nation and then plugging it into this particular calculator to get the cost per day. It also calculates how much Bitcoin is worth to kind of get an idea of how much you're going to be returning on your investment here. Return per week, return per month, return per year. But that changes as the price of the underlying coin changes, in this particular case for Bitcoin. But one of the other very, very important things that's much harder to recognize is this hash rate. So the hash rate for the piece of equipment is 14,000 gigahash, as you can see here. But the overall gigahash is continuing to increase. That's because more miners are available for production every day. So it's simply an arms race. If one particular miner has one piece of equipment, they add a second piece of equipment, the total hash goes up. And when the total hash goes up, every individual hash goes down with regards to return of Bitcoin. So for example, 14,000 gigahash here. You can see cost per gigahash, 0.08150. There will also be a payback in Bitcoins per gigahash, depending on the overall gigahash rate. So if a lot of miners are knocked out, for example, the hurricane in Florida, for example, let's say that knocks out a significant portion of the overall gigahash that's employed on the Bitcoin mining network. Your mining will increase. The cost per gigahash will essentially stay the same, but the number of Bitcoins you get per gigahash will dramatically increase because there's less total gigahash employed. Your miner is still doing 14,000, so it's going to be getting a certain number of Bitcoins per gigahash, but when the total mining gigahash goes down, the gigahash Bitcoin return rate goes up. So your miner will be making more money more quickly, and that payback period will go down. Maybe they'll go down to 20 days, 30 days. It can go up and down quite dramatically. On the other hand, let's say new equipment comes out that has a higher hash rate. Let's say the S10 Antminer comes out and has 50,000 gigahash, right? A lot of miners start being employed. The total gigahash goes up, and the gigahash Bitcoin return rate will go down. So this miner will start earning less money, and that payback period may go up to 200 days, 300 days. It may go up to infinity. You may never be able to pay back this particular piece of equipment, and that is the real danger of getting into mining cryptocurrencies by buying this expensive hardware. You're never guaranteed that you're going to be able to pay back even your investment into the equipment. You may buy this with a payback period day of 108 days for today, for example. Tomorrow it may be 111 days. Next week it may be 150 days. 30 days from now, it may be 300 days, so you'll never be able to catch up to that payback period, no matter if you're employing this piece of machinery 24 hours a day for 7 days a week. You simply will not be able to pay back that particular piece of equipment. So that is the real danger behind buying into these particular pieces of equipment, and that kind of goes back to the initial comment thread by a viewer. Why does the payback period keep going up? It keeps going up because the gigahash, total gigahash, keeps going up. More miners are employing more gigahash, basically using more pieces of equipment to mine the Bitcoin, and the more people who are mining and the more machines everybody's using, the gigahash Bitcoin return rate goes down. So I hope that makes sense. Quite a bit to talk about there, but essentially it's really dependent on how many people are mining. When the Bitcoin price goes down, people tend to take mining hardware offline because the electricity cost, the power cost per day goes up, and at some point it becomes unprofitable to mine. When they do that, the gigahash goes down, the total gigahash goes down, and the return for gigahash, Bitcoin return per gigahash will go up. So at some point it'll become more profitable, people will employ their equipment again, and it's kind of a seesaw up and down with regards to people putting equipment online, taking it offline, and other things can happen as well. For example, hurricane in Florida can knock off a significant portion of mining hardware in that fashion. So the gigahash Bitcoin return rate will go up during that period of time. So that payback period may come down for a few days, but usually it will go back up, especially now since Bitcoin mining has become very popular in the larger community, investment community, and as well as the price of Bitcoin going up. The higher Bitcoin goes up, the more incentive there is for more people to get on, use mining machines that may have been left dormant because the price of Bitcoin was so depressed, it wasn't profitable. So a lot of factors go into that, but it's really about the total gigahash rate employed on the network. If that goes up for whatever reason, because maybe there's more and better machinery out there, maybe because electricity costs drop, or maybe because Bitcoin price increases, the gigahash return rate will go down and that payback period will go up. So that is a really big danger behind buying into the cryptocurrency hardware, is that you'll buy, for example, let's say you put $1,000 in, $2,000 in, you think the payback period will be 20 days, but then you'll notice it keeps going up and up and up. You'll never be able to catch up to that and make back your initial investment on the hardware. So I hope that makes sense. If there was anything that I left out, or if I went over too quickly, a lot to talk about, kind of talking pretty quickly there. But again, be very cognizant of that fact when you buy this Bitcoin hardware. You're never going to be guaranteed that you're going to be able to pay back the initial investment. So just wanted to talk about that. I saw that in the comment threads quite a few times on my prior videos, not only the Coinbase videos, but also the videos talking about particular pieces of hardware, in particular the S9 Antminer. I put out a couple videos about a couple weeks ago. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that. If there's anything to add to the discussion, please let me know. And as always, if there's anything that you guys want to learn about, let me know. I'm always looking for new video ideas. If you're so inclined, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely appreciate all the support on the channel. And again, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment threads down below, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I can. So not to make the video too long, I'll kind of end it here, and we'll see you guys next time.